Good morning, lovelies. Welcome back to my channel, Aquarian Empress Tarot, you guys. Happy Sunday morning. Um, Much love to everybody. Peace and blessings. I wanted to hop on really quick this morning before I get ready for work today. Um, and depending on how this live stream goes, I might do a few readings. We'll see. We'll see how I feel about it. But I wanted to hop in this morning just briefly notifying everybody that on the 14th, Mercury goes into retrograde, and we know how that goes. So, expect delays like in shipments or anything that you've ordered, things like that. Delays in communication, misunderstandings, extreme high sensitivity for some people. Just be aware, of what you say, how you respond to situations. Stop, think, and act. That's the best acronym for Mercury retrograde. It is a period of reflection, but it's also a period, and it doesn't have to be difficult. Like I said, as long as you stop, think, and act first, Mercury retrograde does not have to be as difficult as people make it out to be. And just be considerate, show yourself grace, show others grace, and just know that we're all human. People make mistakes and things of that nature. Now, by no means am I saying tolerate disrespect. Flat out disrespect is what it is, and it needs to be checked immediately. But just have patience with people. Everybody's got something going on. Everybody's going through something. And that brings me to the title of this live stream this morning, where a lot of my clients are doing great. They move forward, they put in the work. They're at a happy place where they are now. But then you have those few people who everything is negative. Everything is woe is me. Everything is why do I always attract the same types of people? I've just been through so much in my life, as if nobody else has been through anything. And I just can't seem to move forward. I can't seem to be happy. And a lot of that is on you, the individual. A lot of that is on you. When you decide to make certain changes and you decide to move forward in your life in a positive way, then you can. People forget that words actually hold power. They do. Words hold power. So when you're speaking those negative affirmations out into the universe, it comes back to you. You're not gonna find the person that you desire, because you keep telling yourself that you won't. You keep telling yourself that all you can attract is a certain low level vibrational type of individual. So that's what you're going to get. Sorry, y'all. Got to drink it while it's hot. But yeah, like constantly getting on social media and talking about all of the things that you've endured, that's your personal business. We don't even know you like that. Please stop it. I'm begging you to please stop it. Getting in folks' live streams, tarot readers' live streams, and talking about all the things you've been through, putting your business out there, putting your person's business out there, it's just something you don't want to do. You know what I mean? If things are not well, learn to control your emotions, learn to self-soothe, okay? And learn to pick up the pieces and keep going. Don't stay down. Not to invalidate anyone's experiences at all, but to be honest with you, we've all been there, for lack of better words. We all have had less than pleasant experiences in life, because that's the sucky part of being a human being. There's going to be times where you're disappointed. There's going to be times where you have disagreements with another human being and things don't work out. You may have to break up with someone or part ways with a friend or someone you thought was a friend. You get to see things in people for who and what they really are. And that's life. That is life's experience. There's no need to be depressed, and popping off at everybody who thinks differently than you, who doesn't wallow in misery, constantly seeking sympathy from people. It's unbecoming. You know what I mean? It's unbecoming. You have to take charge of your own life and say, this is what I want going forward, and then work towards that goal. Do things differently. Make the changes. So that's what I wanted to hop in this morning and talk about. Not sure if anybody is even in this live stream, because I don't see anybody. But if you hop into the live stream, If you hop into the live stream, let me know. If you hop into the live stream, let me know. But yeah, I mean, you just have to decide what it is that you want going forward and say, you know, I'm going to attract this type of person, or I'm going to be able to move up in my career. I'm going to be able to make the money that I need. I'm going to be able to pay off the debt. You know what I mean? Like that type of thing. Good morning, Lotus. How are you? It's the saying, as a man or woman thinks, so is he or she, you know? And when you, Happy New Year. I hope all is well with you. But when you start to take control of your life and you know you start to move differently than what you've done before, then you'll actually start to see changes. It's like somebody saying, it's like me telling myself, which I've done. Great, I'm glad to hear it. You know, I want to lose 10 pounds. Well, I can't lose 10 pounds if I keep eating the same things, or I keep, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not exercising, getting my exercise in. I'm eating a lot of fried foods or things that are high in carbs, and not really taking better care of my health. I can't expect to lose the weight, or I'm not detoxifying my system, cleansing my colon, things that help you lose the weight. You know what I mean? You can't say this is what I want, but then do the opposite and then expect everybody else to feel sorry for you. Cause that's a no. Like, we're not going to do it. Well, you know, I'm still like, okay, but what are you doing about it? That's the question to ask yourself. That's the question I ask myself. What am I doing about it? Yeah. Yeah. And thank you. And, I used to do girls chats on my channel a lot, Lotus, but I had stopped recently because live streaming had become a whole lot, but that's a whole nother, that's a whole nother topic. So I'm back doing it again. Because a lot of people gave me good feedback about our girls girls chats. So I was like, okay, let me try this again and see how this works. But yeah, I just found that a lot of people, especially on social media, I don't know if you've ever, yes, exactly. And I recently commented on someone's post on Instagram, and then this other woman decided to chime in and tell me that I needed to be careful. The statement that I had said was, everybody is not traumatized. Everybody is not unhealed. Some of us choose to do our work, like you said, and hold ourselves accountable and take responsibility for where we are. And she's like, well, before you judge someone, you need to consider that maybe that person, you know, doesn't know how to ask for help. Or I said, well, that's really an excuse, because you know how to ask for money, you know how to ask for a relationship, you know how to ask for other things. And I dead ass meant what I said, because if you want to do something, you're going to figure out a way to get it done. And I said that my statement was that a lot of times people who don't want to take responsibility like wallowing in those heavy negative emotions. They're depressed. They have anxiety. They can't find the right person. They like the attention that the negative energy gives them, that the pity party gives them. So everybody's, oh, I'm so sorry this happened to you. And I'm not at all being insensitive towards anyone who's lost anyone. But to be honest, we've all lost a loved one. We've all experienced some form of a loss, trauma. We've been through some things, and for one person to make out like what they've got going on or what has happened to them far outweighs what's happened to the next person, to me, in my opinion, is unfair. And to sit there and want everybody to, you know, exactly, Lotus. And to sit there and act like, well, because she now keep in mind, this is all on the internet, which is what I don't like about the internet. She wanted to argue back and forth with me, and I said, well, before I said, I'm sorry that I triggered you and that you assumed that I was judging. I said, when I was actually stating facts, because I've been that person where I wanted to blame everybody else. instead of taking responsibility. And once I decided to get the help that I needed, get the therapist that I needed, and take accountability for my actions and the role that I played, then I was able to heal and move forward in my life. Now, we all know, anybody with a little bit of common sense knows that healing is not an overnight thing. Healing is not something that, oh, tomorrow I'm healed. I don't have any more triggers. I don't have any more trauma. It's all gone. That's not how it works. We all know that. But the fact that I decided to take responsibility for where I was at a certain point in my life says I'm not going to sit here and throw a pity party and want everybody to feel sorry for me, because there's no need to. I'm not a victim. I'm a victor. There's a difference. I decided to rise above the situation and do something about it. So whether you've lost a loved one, whether you've lost a job, whether you've suffered a natural disaster, your home, everything you lost, I've been there. There was a point in my life where we lost everything. Everything had burned in a fire. We lost it. And it took a while before we were able to get back on our feet. It took a while before we were able to get clothes and the things that we needed. But that's not a moment for you to, cry, whine, and complain. Now it's go time. It's time for you to figure out what you need to do so that you can get back up and keep going. But some people want everybody to feel sorry for them. And it's like, no, this is not that. So the person, mind you, this is on social media. She decides to start telling me about a child that she lost and how she blamed herself. Exactly. Good morning, Aisha. She decided to start telling me about a child she lost due to SIDS. When she was 17, she found the baby and she kept blaming herself for it. She went and got bereavement. She went and got, counseling or what have you. And I'm not a heartless person. I'm sorry that she went through that, that's horrible. But at the same time, like you said, Lotus, there are resources to help you get through losing a child. There's people who've had children that have been kidnapped and murdered or molested, horrible situations. It is sad, but at the same time, like I said earlier, a lot of people have been through a lot of things. So you may have lost a 3-month-old child where this person's child was raped and murdered. Do you see what I'm saying? Both situations are absolutely horrible. But this person has decided to, it is a hard one. But this person has decided, again, it's a choice. They decide to move forward regardless of that loss. That's just like losing a parent. That's hard too. Do you see what I'm saying? So who decides whose trauma is worse than the next person? Or my best friend may have been molested as a child until she was old enough to speak up for herself and say she finally was able to stand up and say what was happening to her. It's traumatic. It's all trauma. Like I said, people have been through a lot of things. It's not an excuse to wallow in misery and not do the work. Yes, you need to grieve. People need to grieve. Do you see what I'm saying? Good morning, Tasha. Hey, y'all. Good morning to everybody who's hopping in the live stream. Grief is important. Crying it out is important. Talking to someone is important. Getting counseling or getting therapy is important. That's why I said, when you decide to say, okay, I don't want to stay depressed, people like that, sometimes they can fall into a really bad depression. They don't want to talk to anybody. They stay in the house for days. They don't want to be around people. You see what I'm saying? It's important for that person at some point to say, hey, listen, or even a close family member, listen, we've got to get you going. We know this hurts. It hurts bad, but you have got to keep going. And that was my point. My point wasn't to minimize her traumatic experience. My point wasn't to minimize anyone's traumatic experience. Like I said, we've all been through something. One person's trauma is not worse than another person's trauma. So who are we to compare? Do you see what I'm saying? My father was murdered. You lost a child. They're both traumatic. Do you see what I'm saying? We both hurt. We both grieve. But the thing is, either you make the choice to keep going and keep living because that's what your loved ones who are no longer here would want you to do, or you stay stuck. And again, it's a choice. It's a personal choice. And that was the only point of what I had said. But it's crazy to me that people like to get on social media, argue back and forth, and want sympathy. They want to stay stuck in that energy of, well, this happened to me. I'm sorry that happened to you. I'm sorry this happened to that person and that person and this person. Do you see where I'm going with this? This person over here lost this person. This person's child over here was kidnapped. This person over here was molested. Do you see what I'm saying? All of it is horrible. We have evil souls on this earth. That's a reality. And the fact of being human is, at some point, we're all going to die. Or we're all going to lose someone that's close to us. It's inevitable. And some things we don't have any control over. This is where I'm going with this. The things that we have control over, that's what we're responsible for. I'm responsible for how I treat you. I'm responsible for how I show up for myself every day. The fact that I choose to get up and I choose to be a productive citizen. I choose to make peace with myself and the people around me. That's what I'm responsible for. Things that I don't have control over, give it to God. You see what I'm saying? Give it to God. Because you can't control, what someone else does. You can't control when someone passes away. We don't have any control over that. Exactly, Aisha. Once she decided to go into her whole personal situation, I didn't even respond. At that point, I had been asleep anyway. It was like 11 o'clock at night. I'm like, did she really think that I'm going to sit here? Like, there's a saying that's going around on social media too, like, don't engage with people who are committed to misunderstanding you, because that's what it was. I made a simple comment and it was just blown out of proportion. She felt attacked. Y'all know how this goes. But usually people who feel attacked or triggered or offended, there's something going on internally. And that was a clear indicator to me that there's still healing that needs to be done over there. Because obviously for her to share something so personal with me, who's an absolute stranger, okay, that means that you still have a lot of grief. There's still a lot of hurt there. And you take things so personal. And it wasn't even, it was a general post. And it was just, and I made a general statement. I said, some people like to wallow around in misery. Right, exactly, Aisha. Or they're manipulative. Instead of going and actually booking, an in-depth personal reading, they'll come here to pay $10 so they can try to get as much out of me. But we're watching that this year. Yes, we are. Anybody that has more than one question, bloop, go to the website, period. I'm not spending longer than 5 minutes per person going, in depth into a situation. Yeah, I'm not gonna do that anymore. I've learned to see that. And I've had people do that. Like they'll book a $25 reading, for example, a general reading with me, and like they'll do like a Skype session or something like that where we have a face-to-face one-on-one, personal reading, and then I end up spending 3, almost 4 hours on the phone with someone for one topic, one situation. That's not fair to me on my day off. And that's one of the reasons why I've had to, y'all notice I've started setting boundaries, because people only are concerned about themselves. People only are concerned about what they're getting from you. Not that, and me, out of courtesy, if I took that much time from somebody and I know that I only paid them $25, I would have sent them more money. That's just me. That's just the type of person I am. Because I'm like, man, I kept you on the phone that long? No. No. Exactly, Lotus. Exactly. But you see manipulative people, and then the moment that you tell them something that they don't want to hear, you become the villain in their story. So I guess I'm going to be the villain all 2022, because I'm with the shits, and I will tell you exactly what Spirit told me to tell you, whether you like it or not. Yeah, they don't care. People will drain you dry if you let them, which is why I had I had to start setting boundaries. The person who decided that she no longer wants to moderate would, she's one of the people that would constantly drain my energy. She constantly needed reassurance. She constantly needed validation. The moment that I set my boundary for people to email me instead of constantly DMing me, that offended her, because I could tell it offended her because of the way that she would joke around about it. Do I care? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Exactly, Lotus. So I had to on social media, and it wasn't, she took it personal, but it was so many other people doing the exact same thing that she was doing. Just because you pay a reader, yeah, oh, absolutely. That's something I've learned in the 2 years of practice that I've been doing it. For sure. People, just because you pay a reader does not mean that you are entitled to my time anytime you feel like it. Or just because you're a part of my channel or my soul fam does not mean that you're entitled to my personal time and energy anytime you feel like it. And I have every right to say, not today. I can't do it today. I'm not available today. I have every right to say that, whether the person likes it or not. Everything's not an emergency, which is why I personally, as a reader, I've never done emergency readings. I will never do emergency readings, because readings are not emergencies. Emergencies are 911. Someone's bleeding, someone's dying. That's an emergency to me. You know what, Aisha? They might be. I don't know. But I've been having issues with YouTube for months, because their notifications just suck generally. Then come to, also too, people are they're passive aggressive. And you know, there's a saying that there's always a little bit of truth in a joke. So I peep game. People think Aquarians, they take our kindness and they take our lightheartedness for weakness. I'm not dumb at all. I'm extremely intuitive. So I could pick up energies very well. And I could feel, that's how I am now, Lotus. Yeah, I could feel that somebody was feeling some type of way about what I've said, or feeling some type of way about boundaries that I've set to protect my peace. And I don't care. Because like I said, people don't care. They don't care that they're keeping you awake until 11 at night and you have to be up at 5 in the morning to get ready for work. They don't care, because their situation is pressing and they want your insight and your advice and what to do and all this stuff. Instead of going and booking a reading, they want to sit here in your DMs and converse about what all is going on, how they're feeling, what they've noticed, what's changed, what's not changed. I personally don't care. Right, Aisha? Yeah, if you're not getting notifications, yeah, you might want to unsubscribe and then resubscribe. A lot of people have told me that's worked for them. So, and one thing about me, if you don't like me, that's fine. But don't come in my channel trying to tell me how to run my channel. And damn sure don't come in here trying to monopolize my time. Stealing my time from other people, stealing my energy, because you will get blocked. I have no problem blocking anyone and removing anyone. And that's my straight Aquarius side coming out. So, and that's the thing, like me being nice, I could have just blocked a lot of people, but I didn't. I gave people the opportunity to adjust around my boundary. And I said, listen, I'm not available this way. You can reach me this way. People who follow instructions, they emailed me. People who like to still try to get their way and don't disrespect my boundaries, I could still see that there were message requests in my DMs, but Instagram automatically blocks it. So I don't see the messages. But I'm like, I've told you not once, twice, 3 times. Email me. Nope, they don't want to do that. They don't want to do that. That's so difficult. Yep, exactly. Well, Lotus, if you were here last week, you would have seen that happen. Like, I really got, the person felt attacked because I was simply, Aisha was here, she was present. I think Tasha might have been here. I don't know if Tasha was here, but I know Aisha was here. And so the person felt attacked. So they were like getting very defensive during the reading as I was giving them the information. And they kept asking questions. They kept asking my opinion, and I was giving it. Don't ask me questions. I've said this before. Do not come to my channel and ask me questions or ask my opinion and then sit and argue with me, because I don't like arguing with people. I don't like back and forth. Either you accept what you're told or just get off my channel, because it's very simple. A lot of the situations that people come to readers with can be very easily solved, but they choose to, one, entertain stupidity. They choose to entertain stupidity. It's a choice. A lot of this stuff is choices. They choose not to let go when it's time to let go. Spirit has been telling you in 20 different ways to let go of a situation, and you're hell-bent on hanging on to it. They choose to blame everybody else instead of doing their own healing work, and then wonder why they attract the same types of people. A lot of times they are delusional. They don't want to see a situation for what it is. And so the reader becomes the villain. I'm the villain now because I'm telling you what Spirit wanted me to tell you, which is this isn't working. You're feeding the monster, and you need to stop. If you want growth, if you want healing, if you want better. Right, Aisha? If you want better, you have to take personal accountability. It's the thing, you know, like, I can't say, well, Aisha's a horrible communicator, but I've been holding all my feelings towards Aisha inside. And I think it was last Monday, Tasha, the second live stream I did last Monday. But I'm accusing Aisha of being this horrible communicator. She doesn't speak her feelings to me. I don't know what's going on. First of all, I would have been broke up with Aisha. But you know, I'm being facetious, but you know, I'm holding all of my emotions towards Aisha in. She calls me all the time. That's an opportunity for me to tell Aisha how I feel, but I don't. You see how cowardly that is? And then I want to blame Aisha for the way I'm feeling. And so now I'm projecting how I'm feeling onto Aisha, but really it's my fault. Yeah, it's my fault because I didn't take that opportunity to tell Aisha what I was feeling. And knowing that she's a bad communicator, when she does communicate, instead of me taking that opportunity and saying, hey, this is how I feel about the situation, where is this going? You see what I'm saying? You might have to unsubscribe, Tasha, and then resubscribe and turn your notifications on. Some people have had to do that. But it's like, how can I get upset with Aisha for not communicating clearly with me when I'm not honestly communicating with her? If you want clear, honest communication, it has to go both ways. Just like a respectful tone. If I'm upset or frustrated about somebody, exactly, Aisha, if it's not working, why stick around? That's like a job. You know what I'm saying? It's so funny to me. Women are so funny to me because you won't put up with a company telling you, oh, Aisha, we need you to work doubles for the next 10 nights and we're only going to pay you regular pay. The shit you will not put up with from an employer, but you put up with way more than that from a man. Make it make sense to me. Make it make sense to me. You will leave that job. You will quit that job and risk filing unemployment before you settle for that BS. You see what I'm saying? But then when it comes to a man, well, you know, he's got a lot going on and, you know, he's just been through a lot in his childhood. I know that he calls me bitches and hoes. I know that he slams doors in my face. He's punched a wall in my house when he was upset. He doesn't help me pay for anything. He doesn't help, you know, at all with the children. He doesn't help pay for the dates. But your stupid ass is still staying there. You still calling him your person. You're still referring to y'all as a couple. Do you see what I'm saying? Make it make sense. You have to click on the chat. You have to click on live chat, Tasha. You have to click on live chat. Make it make sense. And like you said, Lotus, because I'm very real and direct with what I say, a lot of people don't like it, and that's fine. Unsubscribe to my channel. Right, Aisha? It's a screening process. And dating should be treated as such. People think a lot of women are in delusion, y'all. We don't talk about that. A lot of women are in delusion because they think that well, he's supposed to do this and he's supposed to do that. He's not supposed to do anything. He's not. Your expectations are what get you disappointed. But dating should also be a screening process. Who you choose to date should be a screening process. Right off the bat, he doesn't have transportation. So that tells me, ding, 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 I'm going to have to come pick him up if we were to go on a date. You see what I'm saying? Second, every time we go out, oh, baby, I left my wallet. I don't have it on me. You see what I'm saying? You think you can pay for it? This is every time we go out. Do you see what I'm saying? And this is like not the first, not the second, third date. By day 3, I'm out. Deuces. Clear indications. Clear indications. Clear indications. You see what I'm saying? Of this is not going to work. It's not going to work because I'm already seeing where this is going. It's dating. You know what I mean? It's dating. And it's dating. So dating should just be that, dating. A lot of people get so involved in another person. They get sexually involved. No. We're just dating. That means we're just talking, having conversation, going out for dinner, going out for drinks, maybe brunch, going to catch a movie, spending time together so I can get to know you as a person. I may meet your family, you may meet mine. Eventually, down the road, you may meet my children. Aisha, eventually, after about a year or so of talking to you and dealing with you, I may finally introduce you to my family. If you make it this far, if you make it past the 6-month mark. A lot of folks will not make it past the 6 months. And that's what a lot of women fail to realize. Dating is dating. Dating does not mean sexual intercourse. Dating does not mean he's got to come in and start saving you from whatever you want to be saved from. You see what I'm saying? That's an unrealistic expectation. Oh, well, I want a man to come in and provide for me. That's great because men are naturally providers and protectors. But for you to expect him to do everything for you is selfish. It really is. It's selfish. Because I'll see people where they're like, oh, well, back in the day, back in the 1950s, this is not the 1950s, ma'am. Women actually work these days. Women pretty much take care of themselves at this point. So expecting a man to come in and do all of that for you is not fair to him. He's also been taking care of himself. He also may have other expenses. People forget the selfishness. People forget to understand where the other person is coming from. And this is where empathy, notice I'm saying empathy, because there's a difference between empathy and sympathy. This is not for him to play. If he's playing the pity party, run. He's always got drama going on, red flag. Right, Aisha? He's always got something going on. He doesn't want to talk right now. He's just so stressed out. Those are red flags. Red flags. It's not a time for pity parties. No. Empathy means I can understand where you're coming from. I can put myself in your shoes. Sympathy, feeling how you feel. I'm not sympathizing. Because a lot of times people put themselves in situations, stupid situations, that they could avoid by making responsible choices. Like, if he's the one that's to blame everybody else. Like, oh, well, I still gotta pay. I'm still paying back child support. That's not my problem. You put yourself in a position to where you have to pay back child support. So you want me to feel sorry for you? I don't. Well, I gotta go pick my son up. That's your son. You're a daddy. Great job. You see it? You want a cookie for being a father? That's what you're supposed to do. It's like people want to be recognized for doing things that they should be doing. It's like, well, it's like those parents that'll be like, well, I raised you, I put a roof over your head, I did this for you, and I did that for you. That's what you're supposed to do. You're a mother. You're a parent. I didn't ask to be here. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, make it make sense. Exactly, Aisha. What do you want? Well, and then, or be wary if he's like, well, I have to do this, I have to do that. You know what I mean? Like, well, I gotta take care of this and I gotta, because that says he's not doing it willingly. He feels forced to do something. And the worst thing in the world is having someone do something that they claim they're doing for you, in that type of energy, in the energy of, well, I have to do this. I gotta get Aisha a birthday gift. I have to. Not because they want to. It's not from the heart. It's because they feel pressured to do something. And this is one of the reasons why I say not to focus on getting, they probably are, child. They probably are. But I seen the live again because I went back to look at it. I seen the live replay. Now I don't know if it's because it's my channel, I can access it, but I had seen the live replay. What was I saying? Oh, that's why I tend to encourage women to not focus so much on getting the ring, because you can get the ring and still not be in a healthy relationship. It can be, she keeps nagging me about getting married. When are we going to get married? And it's like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, let me see if I can find it for you, Tasha. Because if I can access it, you should be able to. Because you see what I'm saying? But he feels pressured to propose to you. And you shouldn't want a man to propose to you because he feels pressured to do it. It should be something that he wants to do on his own. You shouldn't have to throw hints for him to figure out that's what you want. You shouldn't have to throw hints for somebody to understand that you're wanting a committed relationship. That adults communicate. You see what I'm saying? You communicate. You talk about what it is that you desire, and then you leave it alone. You know what I'm saying? I'm only going to tell you once. What it is that I expect. If you can't give it to me, it's a wrap. I'm not going to keep begging you or asking you for something. I damn sure don't want you to feel pressured into doing anything for me because I don't need you. I don't need you. It's definitely a want, right? It's a desire. A relationship, a healthy relationship is a desire. It's not a necessity. Let's see. Hang on. Let me see if I can find it. Sorry, y'all. I can only do so much. My iPad froze. So here's where we are. My iPad froze. So y'all can see me. My iPad froze. But I'm back. I see it, Tasha. Yep, there it is. I see all the messages. It's the live stream from 5 days ago. The messages started popping back up because I had to do it on my phone. My iPad had crashed. So if you watch the one that says from 5 days ago, you'll see it, what I'm talking about. You'll see what I'm talking about. But yeah, the pity parties, the constant blaming everybody else for what you've been through, or feeling the need to tell your story. Like, people don't understand, by constantly sharing all their personal information on social media, that's not healthy. Talking about your ex-husband and your past marriage, you know what I'm saying? Okay, love, I saw the comments come up when I checked on the little box. Yeah, I agree with you, Aisha. That's another good topic we'll talk about tomorrow, because I do agree with that, especially if you are in a relationship with what's considered an alpha male. They're very dominant. They like to be providers and protectors. But again, you have to know the person you're dealing with. Are you dealing with an alpha male, or are you dealing with a man who's okay with a woman pretty much taking care of everything? And again, that's a conversation that needs to be had between you and your partner. Who's going to take care of what? You know what I'm saying? Who's going to pick the kids up from school? Who's going to put groceries in the house? Who's paying the electric bill? I never understood that concept of 50-50. It doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense to me, because how can it be 50-50 when one person in the household makes more than the next person? You see what I'm saying? How can it be 50-50? And if you're married, it's like most people in married situations share assets, they have joint accounts and stuff like that. But you have to have a lot of trust to do stuff like that. And even if you are married, I would say joint account, but then separate accounts. Separate accounts. Because yeah, we can both have a joint account where we put money in there for the bills. Like, let's say I put 1,000 in there for bills, he puts 1,000 in there for bills. So we pay the rent. Let's say that's 900. Then we've got cable, internet, we've got phone bills, we've got, you know what I'm saying? So from that joint account, we put money in there for bills and stuff like that, but we still have our own separate checking accounts for other things that we need. Right, Aisha. That's why, like I said, you have a joint account for that particular thing for bills, and you still maintain a separate checking account. Because if shit hits the fan, you see what I'm saying? All your money is not in that one account. Some of your money is in there, not all of it. So whatever he done spent like a maniac, because some men are not good budgeters. Some men don't know how to manage their money. Now there's men who are, they are great at managing money. But let's be honest, a majority of men, they just make the money and it just goes into the account. So it's pretty much on women to kind of monitor the transactions. Now, if you're a woman that has issues budgeting your finances, you're going to have a problem. You're going to have a problem. But that's something that needs to be worked on. If you have a spending problem, it needs to be worked on. Like, real talk, it needs to be worked on, so that when you do get in a relationship, you know how to manage things better. Even without a man or anything, you got to know how to manage your finances. That's critical as an adult. And that's something to consider when you're dating people and even considering them as a partner. Like, is this person financially responsible? I give him $100 and it's gone by the end of today. What does it tell you? And then this person wants to run around talking about I'm the head of the house. Come again? Exactly. Yeah, and a lot of men don't like that either. Men do not like to be talked to like children. Especially if it's their money, like you're spending their money as well, like I said, with the joint accounts, and you see that he made a $300 transaction for something he spent it at a certain place. You're sitting there questioning him about it. It's like I said, you really have to have a certain amount of trust in your relationship to know that your partner is not going to do anything to jeopardize your financial health in that relationship. So it's like, even if he took $300 out, he works hard for his money just like you do. He has every right to take out $300 and spend it on whatever he wants to spend it on. It's his money. He put it in there for both of you guys. But for you to question every little thing he does, he's going to feel micromanaged. He's going to feel like, well, damn, I'm not going to keep contributing to this situation because she wants to control me. She wants to know what's going on with me. And a lot of women who have that controlling complex, Aisha, like you're talking about, have a lot of insecurities. They're afraid that he's doing something outside of the household, which, again, like I said, you got to have trust. If you don't trust this person, why are you in a relationship in the first place? If you have to consider, oh, I think he might be seeing somebody else. Oh, he's going to go buy her something. All the crazy, this is what I'm saying. All the crazy stuff that some women fathom in their mind, create mess in their mind, it affects the other party. Well, I want to make sure that he's not, I want to control everything he's doing. I bought him a cell phone so I can keep track of who he's talking to. His cell phone is in my name. His car is in my name. He's on my lease. A lot of times women do a lot of shit out of spite and control. They want to see where he's at. They want to see who he's with. He's not a child. You are not a parent. You're supposed to be a partner. Nobody wants to deal with that shit. I wouldn't want to deal with it. I wouldn't want to deal with it. You constantly having to micromanage where I'm going, who I'm talking to, what I'm spending my money on. You're not my mother. And a lot of women end up mothering a man, a grown man, instead of allowing him to be in his masculine energy. Allowing him to be, you see what I'm saying? So then you wonder why it's not working. Because you're trying to control him is why it's not working. You're trying to tell him, I want you to do this. Or women can be very manipulative emotionally because it's like, well, I'm going to withhold sex, or I'm going to withhold conversation, or I'm going to withhold this as a means of control. You cannot control another person. You can't control another person. If you want them to communicate, then say that and be what it is that you're wanting your partner to be to you. If you're wanting honesty, then be honest with him. If you're wanting commitment, be committed to him. Do you see what I'm saying? Now, when something don't seem right, call him out on it. But you can't control another grown adult, just like he can't control you. I mean, unless you allow it. You know what I'm saying? But you're not there to be a man's mother. You're there to be the significant other. That's what you want it to be. But a lot of women treat their partners like they do their sons. You have a 17-year-old son. Your counterpart, he's 45. Why are you treating a 45-year-old man like he's 17? You can call the 17-year-old and say, where are you at? You were supposed to be home by 5. Where are you at? You're driving my car. You see what I'm saying? But you're not going to call your 45-year-old husband and ask him where's he at because he's been out too long. That's not for you to do. Those are the things that I'm talking about. It's inappropriate behavior. Even if you don't like the fact that he's been out 3 or 4 hours, he could have been in a conversation with somebody, seen somebody from, he went to school with. They could have got sidetracked, then they decided to go out for drinks. He's grown. It's not a woman's place to try to dictate and control a man. And then expect him to be willing to do things in that connection. It's gonna create problems, is what it's gonna do. Because you're mothering him, not allowing him to be what he's supposed to be. Anywho, y'all. That's all I had to say today. But yeah, the pity party is constantly, I attracted. Okay, so why are you attracting these types of people? Because you entertain them. You entertain them. The thing is, when you're talking to people, in the beginning, you get a kind of a little indicator. Okay, this is foolish. I see the foolish. Now it's up to me to cut it off. Either I cut it off or I keep going, ha ha, he, you keep kikiing with this person. Then you're sending a clear message. Exactly, Aisha. It's the countdown for me. Like, sir, excuse me? You were supposed to be home. You were supposed to be home by 5:30. What are you doing? Are you calculating the time it takes for me to lock up my office, get on the interstate? What if I had to stop and get gas? That's an extra 10 minutes. What if I had to stop by the bank and get some money out? Like, who are you to sit here and micromanage my time? What if I needed to stop by the grocery store and pick up a loaf of bread and some coffee? Now I got to wait in line at Walmart. Do you see what I'm saying? It's foolishness. And that's the thing, like the golden rule, doing to others as you have them doing to you. If you don't want to be controlled and you don't want to be micromanaged, then don't do it to somebody else. It's the same thing with cheating for me. Like, you don't want to see him talking to another female, but then you constantly ha-ha and kikiing with other males and expect him to be okay with it. If you don't want the problems, then don't start nothing, won't be nothing. Don't do what you don't want done to you. That's it. That's it. Because you have people who are like, well, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine for me because that's part of my job. But I don't want to see him talking to or being around another woman. Okay, so you know what I'm saying? So what makes it okay for you? Oh, because it's your job? Well, do you think that women are not going to be on his job? Do you think he's not going to see women on his job? Do you think that he's not going to see beautiful women on his job? Do you see what I'm saying? You don't want him talking to them. But then here comes this dude talking to you, and he's feeling some type of way about it, because men are territorial. And he tells you that he feels some type of way about it, or he asks you, well, who is that? Oh, that ain't nobody. Quit lying. Quit lying. He's sitting there flirting with you. And you, I know, hey, you know, you sitting there having this whole conversation. You know exactly what's going on. And then you, I don't know why you're getting jealous. Because you're sitting there entertaining somebody. Just because nothing has happened or nothing is going on, it sets the stage. It sets the stage for something to go on, for something to happen. See what I'm saying? Prevention is the best method. Prevention. Prevent a situation. Prevent problems. There's going to be problems for sure. In every relationship, there's going to be problems. But if you can minimize the amount of problems that you have, you've won half the battle. You've won half the battle. Another thing women do that men don't like is telling them what to do. Making demands instead of asking questions. When you always put things in a question forms, it allows the other party to think. Critically think. Honey, was there a reason that you just withdrew $600 out of our bill joint checking account for the bills? Is there a reason you just kind of withdrew that $600? I'm just curious. You see what I'm saying? Instead of coming at him like, I see that I saw that you took $600 out. Don't take out money without asking me. Don't take out money without telling me that you're taking it out. It's different. It's a different approach. Oh, well, were you going to take me? He's gone somewhere. Well, you didn't even call to ask me if I wanted to go. Leave that man alone. Leave him alone. Sometimes everything's not about you. Sometimes he wants to go and do things by himself. And that's okay. Sometimes he don't want to be bothered. He wants to be quiet. Give people their space. Well, you should have at least called me and told me about it. Should there be communication? Absolutely. But the thing is, when you create a safe space for the other party, they will tell you without you even asking. They'll be like, oh, well, right, exactly, Aisha. They'll tell you without even asking, honey, I just wanted to let you know I'm taking some money out of the account because I'm finna go make a purchase. And they may even tell you what it is that they're finna go buy. Because you've created that safe, open, you see what I'm saying? You've created that type of relationship to where he feels comfortable coming to you and saying, this is what's going on. You know what I mean? He feels safe with you, so he doesn't feel the need to hide anything. Because one, you don't react like a clown every time he tells you something, whether you want to hear it or you don't want to hear it. You know how to control your emotions. You're open. Okay, all right, I understand. All right. Yeah, I needed to get this new lawnmower because, Uncle so-and-so asked me to help him cut some grass for a couple of people. And he said it was going to be about $600. Oh, okay, honey, I understand. Okay, all right. And that's it. We're not going to sit here and argue, well, why you got to take so much? No. Peaceful connection. Peaceful interaction. Everything, a lot of times women make things more complicated than it has to be. It don't. Yeah, I'll be back, and I'll probably be back later on this evening. Now, here's the thing. If he's not back later on that evening, and you had seen him in the morning, let's say it's a weekend, and then you may have a reason to be concerned, because if somebody's out later than their normal, it could be a dangerous situation. So that's when you call or check in and say, hey, babe, I'm just calling to check on you. Make sure you all right. Not that you're calling, well, who are you with? Where are you at? You see what I'm saying? To ask this, that, and the third. Giving him the third degree. He's grown. You just want to make sure he's all right, and just remind him. Remember, this morning you said you was gonna be back later on, so I'm just checking to make sure that you all right. Yeah, baby, I'm fine. Okay, great. All right. Well, I'll talk to you later. But it could just be me. I'm just that type of person. I don't have the desire to control another grown up. I don't. It's enough being me. It's enough dealing with this. I don't have the desire to control somebody else. So he said he'd be back. Okay. All right. I'll see you. Well, I'll call you later. All right. All right. That's, you see what I'm saying? Keep it peaceful. Keep it peaceful. Because if it's not peaceful, it's problems, and we're not doing that over here. So, you know what I'm saying? The drama, the hollering, the rah-rah, the this, that, and the third, and it's too much. It's too much. And I'm too old for it. So it's like, if you're not coming in a peaceful energy, if we can't have a peaceful interaction without accusations, insults, and like heavy sarcasm, then it's gonna be a no for me. It's gonna be a no. Because, you know, when you start calling somebody out of their name, start raising your voice, start, you know, becoming extremely aggressive, it's a no for me. I'm going to go ahead and check out. Because I don't function like that. You're not going to talk to me crazy. So, peaceful interactions. Keep that in mind, y'all. This whole year, peaceful and it's not just romantic situations, platonic situations, friendships, business. You are not about to talk to me crazy. I had to hang up on a lady this week because she was doing that to me. She called. She didn't tell me what company she was calling from. Didn't tell me her name. Just started asking me questions. It was real fast. And so I said, she cut me off in the middle of my conversation. I said, ma'am, you don't have to be rude. And she's like, I'm not being rude. And I'm like, you know what? That's in the conversation. In the conversation. I'm not dealing with it. I'm not tolerating it. I'm not dealing with it. You called me to ask me for personal information about one of my people that I don't just give out to anybody. You don't tell me your name. You don't tell me where you're calling from, and you expect me to accommodate you. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And as I'm trying to tell you the information, that's what it was. She wanted to argue with me. I told her, I said, well, I don't have anyone who's by that name who's worked for this particular company she was asking about. And as soon as I told her, she wanted to get rude. So I hung up. I hung up the phone because I'm not going to deal with it. You know, you have to stand your ground, and you have to let people know you are not the one. Today is not the day, and you are not the one. You're not going to talk to me disrespectfully. I wasn't doing it to you. So there's really no reason. What was the reason? None. So anywho, y'all, I hope y'all have a blessed Sunday. Take it easy, get some rest, eat well, get some sleep, because I know next week is going to be very busy. And I work this afternoon, so I'm getting ready to get myself together. See how I just deleted that one? No one bothers me anymore. Nobody bothers me anymore. I just tap, delete, block. Yeah. But y'all have a blessed Sunday. And if you have any, if y'all have any suggestions, email me, let me know, or comment under the live stream or in the community tab somewhere, and let me know if you have any suggestions for another girls chat so we can have it. I was going to do it on Instagram, but I was like, let me do it here on YouTube so other people can see it as well. Yeah, and then I'm going to be doing for those of y'all in my tarot class, I'm going to be doing the next 5 of the major arcana. So I'm going to be testing y'all on that. I'm thinking, Aisha, should I do that alive or should I record it? I don't know. Because is alive better so that y'all can interact with me with your cards? The pity party. The pity party topic. We went from pity parties to trying to control your partner. So we might just roll into that. But yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah, because I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So I had these 5 from the last one. And I was wanting y'all to tell me how you interpret it. So I'll ask that in the beginning of the video. I'll record it and post it. I've been saving them in the playlist. So the last 2 that I did are in that playlist if you haven't watched them yet. And so I'll do another one hopefully tonight when I get off of work. Because it's what I love about these videos, it's only like 10 minutes or so. And then we're going to start going into the suits. So, and then Libra, Scorpio, and Sagittarius, y'all's readings are coming up for the new year. And then I can do Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces. So, much love to y'all. And until tomorrow,